Mabuhay. This is Bob from Love Beyond the Sea, getting kiss bombed by Sky. Sky, I'm trying to tape a video here, girl. Oh. Okay, Sky knows that I'm going to talk about Filipinas, videos about Filipinas and foreigners. Here, girl. And this is going to be about expectations again, expectations. It's one of those things that nobody can see, and you know your expectations. And then when you get married to a Filipina, you will find, that you may have to alter those a little bit, or expect some things, you accept some things you weren't expecting. And so this is going to be about satisfaction versus fulfillment. Maybe I could say contentment versus fulfillment. Now, I've been married to a Filipina since May 10th of 2015. There you go, beautiful. Oops. And so we're coming up on, 4 months, 5 months in May? Yeah, 4 months. We're talking 10 years. So I've learned some things about being married to a woman from the Philippines I can surely help you with. So as far as fulfillment and satisfaction, I think a lot of men will marry a Filipina with some expectations that are unrealistic. Now, I was alone until I was 53 when I got married. And of course, I knew how that was, and I knew I wanted something different, something better. And, I got married, which is what I wanted to do, and I wanted to marry a woman from the Philippines, and I was able to. And I'm not complaining about that, but my situation was kind of different than others, because a lot of guys have, had broken relationships. I couldn't even get in one, but they've had broken relationships, and they hear that these women from the Philippines are just doing everything they can to make themselves available to foreign men, and that they're so much better than Western women, and they might be, probably are, and that if you find one, all your troubles are over, and you'll be making, YouTube and TikTok videos, Facebook shots, stories with your wife and how wonderful everything is. I think a lot of people, I'm not naming anybody in particular, I just think it's natural that we hide how things truly are on these social media platforms. And so what I always tell guys, and I'll tell you here, it's better to reach a point of contentment and satisfaction with your Filipina wife than it is to find fulfillment. Now, it seems like I'm splitting hairs here, but fulfillment to me means I'm fulfilled, I'm filled to the full. There's nowhere else I can go to feel better about my life and my marriage, my relationship. And I don't think, I'm willing to bet that never happens in marriage. Never. It's always a matter of accepting reality and the things that we can't change, and another cliche, taking the good with the bad. And so I want to be realistic here with these relationships with women from the Philippines. I'm not saying anything bad about them. This is just marriage to anyone. If I were you, I would go into such a relationship, and you certainly can. There are plenty of people saying you should never, ever get involved with a woman from the Philippines. It'll just end in divorce. She'll end up leaving you. And there's so many of us that has not happened to. We're still married. We intend to stay married, but we understand the cultural differences, the age differences, the expectations they have for us as well as we have for them have to be tempered with reality. So what I'm hoping is you can find Love Beyond the Sea, find a woman from the Philippines, and be content with her, content with the situation, content with the in-laws, content with, the disappointments, the unfulfilled parts of your marriage. And I think if your perspective is right, and if mine is right, then we can be satisfied with our choice of the woman that we married. We can be content. We can be satisfied. We can say, yeah, I'm pretty happy. Life throws curves at us. Our health isn't always the same. Our job situation may change. We shouldn't look to our spouse to be that perfect, solid part of our life that never changes, because in most cases, you just don't know that woman very well because you live so far apart. And that's just the nature of the beast. My wife was, if you add up the miles, 9,800 flight miles from me when we got married. And I proposed on day 18 of knowing her, meeting her online on Christian Filipina website. And we got married in 54 days. So now we're coming up on 10 years. Can't believe it. I'm looking at her pictures right now. I'm very happy that she is my wife, and I tell her that when we go to bed. But it's not all been perfect, of course. And I'll bet you she could tell her friends, my husband isn't perfect, and it hasn't been perfect either. But we're still married because we're both trying to be realistic. We are both, I think, working for satisfaction. I'm trying to satisfy her in all the ways that I can. As a husband, meeting her needs, protecting her, and providing for her as my wife. But I think when people look for fulfillment or an escape from Western women or women you've known in the past, you set up some pressure, some unrealistic expectations on the woman from the Philippines that people like me are saying, yeah, I married one. I encourage you to look out for red flags and marry one yourself. But I'm just trying to be, since my channel is all about relationships here, we don't live in the Philippines. I'm not going to tout the Philippines. Mine's about the relationship part. And I hope people are interested in that and subscribe here to Love Beyond the Sea, especially if, on YouTube, especially if TikTok goes away. Where I just want to talk about relationships. We got 1,900 videos on that. My wife and I are in there. Our vacations we've taken in playlist Just Us, it's called. But aim for contentment. Aim for being realistic. Aim for satisfaction. Be satisfied. But fulfillment, I think that's kind of a strong word, and it kind of bothers me. Because if you say to me, Bob, I'm looking for a Filipina to fulfill me, well, I would say probably there's nothing or no one that can fulfill you. And that's just human nature. And actually, God himself would be the only one that can fulfill us because he is perfect in every way. And perfect in knowledge, perfect in wisdom, perfect in power, perfect in skill, perfect in love, and so on. So let me know what you think about this. And maybe it's a little too deep to leave a comment, but basically I'm contrasting the idea of contentment and satisfaction on one side, which is a good side, a plus side, and fulfillment, which is, I think, unrealistic, way over there. And I think you're better off looking for some satisfaction, contentment, when you're looking for love beyond the sea.